Quick service announcement time. Until the 29th of December, this channel is proudly sponsored by HelloFresh UK. You can get discounts on fresh recipes and meal kits delivered to your door. You can use the code down in the description at checkout or the link down there as well, and you'll get 50% off your first box and 35% off the 3 after. Well, after our big summer transfer special and very bizarre debut in the top tier of Northern Irish football last time out, we've done a little bit more work, we've got a couple more players in the door, and today, for the first time since our promotion, we're playing big boys, 2 of them as well. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 37 of this Build a Nation save from Distillery with me, Daniel. We are back today for our first 2 massive tests of the top tier in Northern Ireland. We go to Glentoran, who are in European football in the qualifying stage this year, have been irregular in the top 6, and Larne, who have made the group stages and are the defending champions 2 years in a row. So this is where we're going to find out whereabouts we're going to be competing. We battered Portadown, but then unfortunately lost last time out. A 1-0 defeat there from a set piece, and Portadown now unbeaten in their 3 games so far. And then we've beaten Carrick Rangers, who are bottom of the league. But aside from that, we've got no real indication of where we're going to be. We've had some confidence boosting home cup ties against lower league teams, so if you're looking forward to seeing if we can build on it against some of the hardest opposition in the land, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. If for any reason you missed the transfer special last time and don't know some of the big news in and out of the club, then that one is up in the eye above. But we're going to turn our attention straight back to these 2 games via the end of the transfer window, because it is now mid-September, and due to Larne getting to the European group stages with their last qualifying round match, we had a delayed fixture, a postponement, so it does mean that we've had a lot of time to work on off-the-pitch stuff. So let's go and have a look at what that's meant and how the transfer window has finished, because the truth of the matter is exactly how we expected. 2 more signings came in, both on deadline day, both players getting desperate. Players that we had on trial. Barry Coffey, Ethan Ross, the final 2 pieces of the jigsaw. We also tried to loan a few more players out. None of that really came off. Marty Bell, I think that happened in the last episode. He was the last one that left the club. So the 2 players in are Barry Coffey. We looked at him before. He's a superstar. Natural centre mid, natural number 10. New highest paid player at the club on £220 a week. And he's still got bigger potential. If we can get these guys playing regularly, training regularly, and he did do well to be fair in one of the games he's played already, got himself an assist in a cup match, then he is going to be a gem. I'm delighted to have him here. And I'm just as delighted to have Ethan Ross, who is a new first choice goalkeeper, 4-star ability, an absolute superstar. Massive upgrade on Connor Mitchell. It will be his last season at the club. And to have this guy for the next 2 seasons, with those 2 additions, I feel confident that we'll survive. Whereabouts we'll finish, I'm not too sure. But I do feel confident we'll be out of that bottom 2. You can let me know in the comments if you agree. You can let me know how you feel about our work. But I am really pleased. Combined with the performance we had against Portadown, combined with nicking the result against Carrick Rangers, and the confidence boosting cup ties, I now do feel good. But I know that this month is going to be horrid. Glenavon, Linfield, Larne and Glentoran, 4 of the 6 sides that finished in the top half last year. And we've played 2 of the bottom sides and 2 teams in the cup from lower leagues. We can't really judge our performances yet. So after the Portadown game, we did bounce back against Carrick, and there was one key reason for this. Well, there was 2 actually. The first one is they got a red card at 0-0, which really did help us out because it was a pretty even game before then. You can see Connor Mitchell got a 7.6. He did have to make some saves. But the other crucial thing is that the day before, Leon Boyd ended his unhappiness. Another one of those stupid ones about the training facilities. But he ended it, and look at that, he scored straight away. Him and Convey won apiece, 2-0 the scoreline. Carrick offered nothing after the sending off. Against Miola Park in a League Cup, we did manage to rotate a bit. We missed a penalty through James Convey and Leon Boyd, who had to come on to try and save the day. Leon Boyd did just that. 73rd minute winner. Wasn't a great performance. We were the better side. We didn't really have a threat against us, but we didn't look like, a bit like the Portadown game, we weren't really carving teams open. We did, though, do that against Dundalk a couple of weeks later. Leon Boyd opened the scoring. Orkin and McGill both got a goal. and we got to bring on some of the youngsters off the bench. Buchanan's made a few appearances, Heaney's done the same, and it looks like we're starting to push forward now. Coffey and Ross both made their debuts in that game. It was a really comfortable win and performance, so we're hoping to back that up today, albeit against much trickier opposition. Do remember, we gave Glentoran a game last year. 3-1 in the cup we lost, but we had a penalty we missed, and late on they managed to get their third goal. We've got top tier opposition in both of the cups now though. Cliftonville next month in the Shield, the side that we played with in our FM20 Build Nation, and Portadown at home in the League Cup. Of course, the rivalry continues with them. But let's go and have a look at Glentoran, because they have got one very familiar name in their squad. On the bench, a regular is Chris Johnston. We couldn't get him back. He didn't get loan listed, and as a result, he's going to rot on the bench there. But we're going to get straight through to the fixtures, because these two games are tough. Larne come into it against Linfield, which will hopefully help us. But looking at the Build a Nation aspect, and we'll focus on them a bit later, Larne did make the group stages of the Europa Conference League. They've done really well to get past a number of sides, and I hope that's going to be a good thing for us, because we've seen Linfield do it a couple of times, we've seen Larne do it as well. Does that mean they can improve their facilities? Does that mean they can get better players in? We'll see as the years go on. How long before we're competing with them at the top two? We might have to worry about relegation first, so let's get ourselves back in line and have a look at the lineup to face Glentoran. We played 4 days ago in the Cup. Shay McCartan, hero from one of our Ballymena saves on Twitch a couple of years back. He is in there at 32 years of age. But let's look at our team. 2,500. We're not getting crowds like that at our place. A light match load for everyone. The 2 new players got through unscathed in their debuts. So I think we're going to keep the squad exactly the same as it was. Daniel McGill, he was suspended first game of the season. Back on the bench, back in the dressing room. Model citizen, very good personality, and the leader and captain at the club. I feel like that could have an impact too. But the rest of the team's good. It's solid. Look at it now. There's no real big weaknesses in star rating. We've got some real standout players as well. And with Coffey and Ross, the new signings amongst them, we have definitely improved this team. Ethan Ross is the man who will start in goal today. Dobbin and Bell the fullbacks, with McDowell and Orkin as centre-half. Crow and Levingston the midfield too. That's probably my next area to target in January or next summer. Latifa and Convey on the wings. And then new man Coffey behind Leon Boyd. Back in form, back happy, and he is absolutely flying. He wants a new deal. We'll discuss that with him in a moment. That's his latest complaint. But to be fair, the way he's playing at the moment, probably earned it. Let's go and get through to the first game today. I'm going to start on a balanced mentality for every match at the moment. We'll drop to cautious against the big boys if it becomes indicated. But I just want to get a barometer in this first couple of months of how good we are compared to the rest. We look great against Portadown, good against Carrick. This one might be a bit trickier. And Glentoran have made 6 changes from their cup game, where of course they rested a number of their stars. We're looking at players like Marshall, Callum Camps, Conor McMenamin, superstars of the Irish League coming in, players that have got loads of experience in England, players that are high quality. They've got good players on the bench, Johnston one of them, Andrew Bell we tried to sign years ago, Jim Ferris, Michael Newbury, we've had them in various saves. Newbury's someone we've interviewed over on the podcast as well. These are quality footballers. So let's go and get through the dressing room. Let's go and tell the lads to pick up where they left off. Through the tunnel interview we go. That's how you know it's a big game. Let's see if we can hold Glentoran. Well, nearly half an hour in, we've managed to hold them off so far. But if we have a look at those stats at the top left of the screen, there is a suggestion that they are dominating us and it's a matter of time. So I am going to drop to cautious. I think we found our level here. If we can hold out for a draw, if we can frustrate them, great. Any points against these sides are bonuses this year. So let's just see if we can hold on. We've managed a shot, but now on this big Glentoran pitch, they're on the front foot. And they've got players like Camps who can unlock the door. McCulloch is another one of those. Former English player as well, or English League player I should say. As Roy goes in behind to McMenamin, star of that Cliftonville save. And he's put us to the sword there. One big chance, one big goal. And unfortunately, that's the quality we're up against. I know that we managed to compete really well when we went up to the second tier. But the second and third tier in Northern Ireland, you are largely semi-pro and amateur clubs. There's not too much between most of the budgets. Here at the top tier, with Glentoran, Linfield, Larne, you've got basically professional setups. This is very difficult to compete with. We are going to be able to have 4 or 5 different teams this season that we compete really well against. And then probably a few like this where, certainly away from home, it's going to be backs to the wall. It's going to be damage limitation. At home, maybe we can give them a run for their money. But here, it's going to be very tricky. We've barely laid a glove on them. We've seen nothing of us going forward. And with us on the cautious mentality, it's probably about preserving the goal difference. That could be crucial at the end of the year, particularly after that annoying defeat against Portadown. So let's see how we get on here as we're 25 to go. We're playing out from the back with Crow. We will look at subs in a moment, try and take those off on a yellow and struggling with fatigue as Latifa chips up to Boyd. Headed away well. Levingston wins it though. Oh, missed by the defender. Leon Boyd's in. Oh, forget everything I said. Scrap it all. It's 1-1. We're on for a point. I was about to say we need to rest players. We've got Larne in 3 days. But look at it now. It's 1-1. It's a smash and grab. And after what happened against Portadown, I kind of feel we've earned one, to be honest. Let's have a look at the changes we can make. Left-hand side. I mean, there's knackered defenders. I'm just going to have to live with it. On the right, I'm going to take off Dobbin for Murphy. Murphy's a bit better defensively. Actually playing really well at the moment. Convey's on a yellow and had a poor game. Latifa switches sides. Buchanan the youngster on. Latifa inverted winger on support. What else can we do? Nothing for now. Or in fact, Coffey's still building his fitness. Heaney on for him. 3 changes made, 20 to go. This would be a point against all the odds and against all that's suggested from the statistics as well. As Scannell comes forward on the right-hand side. Glentoran will be looking to get straight back on top. McMenamin takes on Murphy, who does really well initially, forces him backwards. Gets it in the second time to Beldo. They've put on an extra striker and they're looking a threat. Ferris another sub into McMenamin. What can you do? That is absolutely super play. Glentoran back in the lead before we know it. And now I'll just go and rest a couple. We're not going to come back again. We've got Curtis Bell off for Edgar. McGill on for Orkin. He's played well, but can we afford to lose him now? I think we probably can. It's him or Oren Crow. I'm going to leave it. Do you know what? We'll bring on Ian Walker. He'll replace Crow. Levingston to the Mazzala. And Walker, try and unlock that door. 15 to go. 2-1 Glentoran. And 5 subs, just not enough here. Well, it's a free kick at the other end. We've got another chance to nick one. It's into Orkin at the back post, who heads just over the bar. Really good delivery from Walker, actually, the sub. With 5 to go, it's a corner kick. It's taken a very similar pattern to the cup game. Yes, they were more dominant at the start, but the way it's working, we're fatigued at the end and it's costing us. As Boyd loses out in a challenge to Burns. Back to Scannell. Hits the woodwork. Let's encourage the lads. 5 to go. They're looking a little bit nervy, but we've still got the chance from a set piece as Walker in, Orkin up, heads over again. Chances being created. Set pieces definitely our main attacking threat, but a 2-1 defeat at Glentoran is no shame at all. They're a top half side and they haven't won it yet as Walker takes the free kick. Right hand side again. Please let us nick a point. It would be amazing. Walker to the back post. Up we go. Hits the bar. The rebound's off the line. Oh, we've somehow not managed to hold on. The corner kick's headed away as well. And now we might get done on the counter because we threw loads of men forward. Camps brings it away to Bell and Ferris. And this is the game management that we haven't got. McMenamin back to McLean at the back. I think that's going to be it. The best chance has gone. Camps can bring it forward. Big ball over the top. Edgar will get there first. Can he play out from the back? No. Hoofs long. A little bit of panic there. Scannell brings it down again and we invite more pressure. 30 seconds to go. It's not where we want it. Latifa's fouled him. That'll be it. Oh, he's playing on. I thought that was a foul for sure. Back to Newbury, who hoofs over the top. Edgar loses out in the air. McDowell half clears. It's a free kick for offside. Unfortunately, I think that's going to be the final action. But one hell of an effort. We've still got a threat, and that's all I wanted. We should have got a result against Portadown. If we'd done that, I'd have called this a brilliant start to the season. As it is, performance-wise, we're competitive. But Larne, the champions, are next. And in 3 days, I'm not sure all of these will be fit. Back in a minute to see how we get on. It'll be damage limitation again. It's match day again, and the good news is, despite having to rest them both for a day of training, Ada McDowell, at least of the 2 centre-halves, is fit. Let's hope the same goes for Orkin as we get through to the fixtures. We are second bottom at the moment with this our game in hand, and overall, despite the brilliant performance against Portadown and that spirited effort against Glentoran, it means nothing if we stay in trouble. Let's get through the tactical meeting. To be fair, would the relegation playoff be a bad outcome this season? I feel like it would be well earned, and if we could stay up in the playoff, I don't really care. If we go and have a look at the club vision, they did actually change at the start of the season, said they want to avoid relegation, which means we've got to finish 11th. It was attempt to when we got promoted, and again, they've upped their aim. Seems to happen a lot these days. Linfield play Newington in the cup, don't care about that. Let's close down the key player. Let's hope they're resting people ahead of a really big game in Europe. But look at them. 515 tickets sold. We've doubled our attendance. It's probably mostly away fans, but let's see who's fit for this game. McDowell and Orkin apparently both there. With the rest of it, Curtis Bell struggling a bit. I'm going to get him through this game. We've got 4 days off after. I can give him a little break from training. We'll try and get through it. So this is the team we're going for. It's exactly the same 11 again. It's exactly the same bench again. We've started well. We've started competitively. And if we can get these players up to speed, don't forget, Ethan Ross, Barry Coffey, they've only been here 2 weeks. They've only played 2 games. The fullbacks are new. It's a new look defence. If we get it up to speed, we get it settled. By October, November time, I feel we can do all right. So let's go and submit the team for the big game against Larne. Back-to-back champions. They've got European group stage money. Have they spent any of it? I didn't ask that, did I? Let's have a look at the transfers. They've not spent much, but they're signing players from the Scottish Prem. They're signing good players on a free. And this is going to be a real tricky test for us. So let's see how they get on in this one. Through to the game we go. Distillery versus Larne. This is going to be difficult. And our dreams have not been realised because they've only made one change. Did I mention that we got Sammy Clingan back as assistant manager? I don't feel I did. We'll do a staff review in the next episode. Bobby Harvey is in at right back. You all remember him. The first star we had, he was poached. He was horribly poached by Larne. And he is now a superstar for the champions in the nation. We're going to start balanced again because this time we're at home. But maybe as time goes on, we'll start to find that we have to be a bit more defensive. A little more pragmatic against the top sides as Kennedy is on the front foot for them. Almost straight away into their stride this game. Tate to the left side of the box. Cross into the back post. Gordon's up. Bell moves to the header. Out to McLennan. Into O'Neill. Tipped onto the post by Ross. He wasn't to know it was offside. It's sensational keeping. But this is a warning sign already. They're on the front foot again. McDowell heads it away. Coffey wide to Latifa. Good football there to find Crow and Dobbin. Down the line to Latifa again. Has support. Instead tries to take on his man. And he gets a bit lucky to beat him. Into Boyd. Header just over. Oh, Boyd's throwing his toys out the pram now as well. I wonder if that's going to cause more trouble. He started moaning about his contract publicly. And I'm not sure that's going to lead to a good outcome. 15 gone. I'll take 0-0. But Larne the better side, and Bobby Harvey now on set pieces, into the back post, headed away as far as Coffey. This is a chance to break, it's a 3-on-3. Coffey down the middle, Boyd's up with him, got support on the left now from Convey. Coffey's making the run again, it's not quite through to him. Bobby Harvey mops up, one back to his keeper Webber. Little bit frantic this game, some end-to-end counter-attacking, but definitely Larne the more controlling side. As it's out to Harvey at right back. Oh, I'd love to get him back one day. Imagine he ends up being our right back as we go and win the title the first time. Webber in goal. Larne playing good football. They generally try to, in fairness. I'm sure they're going to hoof it long now I've said that. Harvey playing out from the right. Definitely on the floor here. McClellan into Gordon. Lovely football. Waits for the right through ball to O'Neill. He's 1-on-1. He's through the keeper. And we're 1-0 down. A game where we've deserved to be behind so far. The champions are just too good. Let's drop to cautious. Let's try and contain them again. We'll come back out if we go 2 or 3 down. As we're back again just 5 minutes later, Larne on the front foot. We're really struggling to get out and we are starting to look very inferior here. But this is the level we've got to aspire to in the next 4 or 5 years. Can we get up and compete with these sides? Not while we're semi-pro is probably the answer, as that one's in for 2. Larne look spectacular. They're a fabulous side. You can see why they're champions. And the way they're playing, they're going to cause a threat in Europe too. It's just whether they've got the squad depth to cope with the fixtures. This game could really be any score they want it to. I'm just hoping they'll want to rest people in the second half. As Doherty into O'Neill, far too easy. That one's just wide of the post. This is an absolute mauling. It's a lesson in how far behind we are. And it's a real indicator of how far we've got to go. They've not dominated in terms of having 20, 30 shots, but they've controlled the game. They've been able to take their chances. They've been ruthless. They've been everything a good side is. Half time, I'm pretty happy it's only 2. Stats-wise, we're coming back into it. But let's be honest, on the balance of play, it's a thoroughly deserved defeat. We're going to tell the lads we want a lot more. Few have reacted well to it. Let's see what the first 10 brings. We'll make changes if we need to. Or corner kick for Larne, 10 gone in the second half, no change to the pattern here, albeit it's gone a little bit calmer, as Doherty gets it from the clearance, shots just wide. I'm going to encourage for 5 more minutes, but I'm going to be honest here, I think Crusaders at the weekend is a more winnable game. Frankly, any game is more winnable than Larne in this league, so we're going to make changes with that in mind, we're going to rest a few. Off comes Orkin, he will be replaced by Daniel McGill, we'll swap those two because he's a better cover, and he is a better stopper. We're also going to take off Bell for a rest, mark Edgar on for him. And then looking forward, what do we need to do? Barry Coffey's anxious. He's still building fitness. Heaney, you come on for him. I'm going to take off Convey or Latifa. Who's the best physically? Who's got the best chance of recovering? Convey has. So Latifa off, Buchanan on. And then in midfield, Levingston's nervous. On will come Ian Walker. 5 changes made. 25 to go. Let's just try and keep it respectable. Larne seemingly have other ideas because we're back with a little bit of head tennis with just over 20 to go. Convey picking it up in an inside position, keeps drifting in here, finds down the line, nice 1-2 with Buchanan. Oh, that's a lovely goal. That is real class from James Convey. I'm not even sure if the 1-2 was intentional. Buchanan just got a little flick on it. It was almost like he hit it off him. But Convey curls one into the corner. We've seen him do that a few times before, albeit at a lower level. And with 15 left, we've got an opportunity. Larne have started resting people. They've got some fatigue, and we've got a lot of fresh young players on the pitch. So let's encourage. Let's have one more go. We're going to go positive, but I don't think we're going to get anything. 2 minutes of stoppage time played. It's another pretty valiant effort, but it is another defeat. We stay in the relegation playoff after 4 games played. But now we've got a couple more games to go, and then the easier fixtures, easier on paper, start to come along. Let's go and have a look at the schedule for when we're next going to be back. Hopefully they're not all as tricky as that one. Well, to be honest here, I think we've got to reflect on a big surprise, which is that Cliftonville have won 4 out of 4 and are top of the league. And if we go to previous seasons, they've not been that close to the championship. For last season, they were in the bottom half in 7th place. Year before, they were 6th. Year before that, they were 4th. Year before that, they were 7th. They've been close without getting there in previous years. Now, they are well established in that top 3 and they have had a fabulous start. Not sure if they've done anything big in the summer. There doesn't appear to have been masses of transfers in this division. Press went to Southampton from Linfield. Best player left the league, but they've got to sell on. They've got future fees. Hopefully he'll do well in the championship there. We lost Dylan McLean. Let's be honest, the biggest players, the biggest transfers are ones leaving the league for elsewhere. That is still the big problem at the moment. But for us, let's see when we're going to return. I'm tempted to keep showing Portadown, but I want to kind of focus on games that I think are going to be big this year. So Portadown, definitely one of those. Dergview, probably one of those. Carrick, the same. So somewhere around this region, we are going to return because depending on where the cup games go, we could have 20 fixtures or we could have 2 in 1 month. So we're going to have to judge it probably after we've played those next 2 cup games. If we've got more to come, we'll probably look at Dergview. If not, it will be later for Carrick or for Portadown. We've got to renew that rivalry. We always have fun games against each other. But if you did enjoy this episode, 2 valiant defeats, 2 heroic efforts against the big sides, and please do put a thumbs up on it. Let me know in the comments where you think we're going to be this season, because for all the positives in performances, we are 11th and we are struggling. It looks like it's probably us, Carrick, Dergview, and maybe Portadown if they start to drop, battling it out for relegation. We've got Crusaders who are struggling at the weekend, and we need to start picking up results. If you want to stay up to date and find out if we do, subscribe and turn that notification bell on. It's a big season in the head coach as well. You can find that playlist in the eye above, the Twitch channel, and so much more. But of course, thank you for all the support as always. I'll put the latest season of the head coach above my head now, and I'll see you back here in a couple of days' time for a very big episode at the bottom of the Irish Premiership.